It's Keeping Me Up, the show where we discuss the thoughts that itch our way into our brains and keep us up when we should be sleeping. I'm your host, Razlo, and tonight I have star of adult entertainment and video game streamer Tiffany Starr to help keep me up. Tonight we are going to discuss such topics as how do testicles divide labor? How do vampires use Tinder? And why are aliens obsessed with butts? Please enjoy. Tiffany.
What?
There's a bunch of things that are keeping me up. I can't sleep. I'm just thinking about them. It's all I can think about.
Sucks to be you.
Come on, there's got to be something that's bothering you that's keeping you up too, besides me.
All right, you know what? You're right. There are a couple things I want to get off my chest.
Well,
and on.
I thank you for coming here while I creepily recorded us having a sleepover here.
Oh, is that what the big blinking light was?
Yeah, it was weird that you didn't ask when I set up the mic on your pajamas.
I thought it was more weird when you're like, you don't even need the pajamas.
I just thought I wanted you to be comfortable. That's all.
Uh-huh.
Then what? So why don't I introduce you to the people that may be watching or listening?
Sure.
So this is. You can introduce yourself, I guess.
Oh, I thought you were gonna.
I don't want to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I am Tiffany Starr, also known as the Adult Entertainer Gamer, also known as that girl with the dick, also known as that girl with the boobs. Just the girl.
Really, that's really, yeah. The boobs part really.
Well, I do adult film too.
Apart.
I think that's where most people know me from. I do porn and I have sex for money, legally. Not.
That's the weird thing about it is it's legal as soon as you're filming it.
Well, yeah.
It makes a lot of
you can
sense.
tax porn. You can't tax a hand job in an alley.
You could if you changed the laws.
You could, but they don't.
That's for a different topic. We actually didn't put that on our.
That's probably why it's illegal, actually, because they can't tax
figure out how to make money.
Yeah, because if they're not getting a piece of your ass, then no one gets a piece of your ass.
And so I think we kind of covered the basics of the show.
Yes.
It'll make more sense once we start talking about some things here.
You mean we haven't started talking about things?
I mean, some of the things that are keeping me up. We're just general conversation introductions right now, but the first thing I want to talk about, this is something that I was legitimately, I needed to know the answer to this right away as soon as I saw it. And that is, how do testicles divide labor? How would you think that it occurs?
I don't actually think they do.
So what happens? In your mind, I know the answer.
Well, it depends in the context. Like, are you talking about for pre-op trans women or for
if we're
men?
talking about like production, I mean the testicles job, right? Production of semen.
Okay.
How do they divide the labor? How does it work?
I don't know. I feel like it might be like high school. Like they all work together and they're all like buddies.
That's what your high school experience was like?
Until you meet a hot girl.
Oh, okay.
And then they all fight each other for her. And then once, because, the semen.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how my testicles will fight each other. I've heard of contortion, or is it contusion? What's the...
It's not the testicles themselves. It's what's inside them. And they're fighting. You're basically the warden of a prison. And sometimes you release
the cell
them.
blocks open?
Well, you ever see a movie where, they use people for, hunt people for sport and the last one alive wins? Well, basically, you're the warden of a prison, right?
Okay.
And sometimes you release them. And when you release them, it's like the last one to get to the uterus wins. So, you're picking them off one by one until one of them makes it.
We're talking about strictly production, though, here, not final destination.
Listen, producing that stuff actually hinders me, so I don't really like to talk about it. But if you want my opinion, I think that they all just work as a cohesive unit.
Okay. So one thing that what made me start thinking about it in the first place was I wondered if I somehow had a tragic accident on a mountain bike and, and lost a testicle, would I produce the same amount of semen as I currently do?
Oh no, you'd produce half.
So that was my assumption, but I was like, I couldn't sleep.
You just lost half your prison.
I need to get to the bottom of this. And this is the actual real answer to this is so much weirder than I was expecting.
Did you actually look up the real answer?
I did look it up.
So why the fuck did you wake me up?
I just need someone else. I wanted your opinion, and I needed to tell you this.
I need to tell someone.
I need to tell someone this.
Tell me about why they work together, or how.
So you said that they work together. You're right. They equally divide labor, and the testicles make the same amount of semen regardless of whether you have one ball or two. Which I thought was kind of strange.
What, you thought they'd go into overtime?
I thought, if you had two, in my head, you would make double the amount of if you had one.
It's like, hey, A units, it's gone. We have to go into overtime. You're working 80 hours a week now.
Well, it's like, you know that, your sperm count, goes down if you
take estrogen,
practice certain activity, you drink too much of whatever, or you do certain drugs, or you drink too much, or whatever the thing is.
Estrogen.
Or estrogen. So if that can make your sperm count drop, I figured surely losing a ball could make your sperm count drop.
I thought that would be common sense.
Right, but that's not the case. You would have the same amount of sperm per every ejaculation as if you had. It's like the testicles know the job they're supposed to do. They have their orders, their Amazon orders that they need to ship out, and they just ship out the same cargo each time regardless, which means that normally when you have two, they're doing half the amount of work than they could do.
So you're saying they're lazy, and then when you get rid of one, then the
other one steps up to its full potential.
They double time. Yeah,
right. It's like when people lose someone in the family and it inspires them to
drink
to carry on their life's mission in addition to their own.
Speaking of drink, I always carry a drink into bed.
That's weird that you kept it under the covers, but I did as well.
then how am I weird? If you kept yours under the covers.
I thought it was just my secret. And I felt...
The secret was what I'm drinking.
I felt weird about it, and now seeing you pull a drink out from under the covers.
Oh, well, I usually keep it here, but...
Okay. I would think that would make your drink hot. Now, I want to have you be able to ask your own burning questions, and you had one about Earthbound?
Yes, I did. Everyone attributes, certain things in video games with meaning. It's a variety of different games. If is Link really dead in Majora's Mask, or right. Or Limbo or something. Everyone has theories, game theories. There's a whole fucking YouTube dedicated to game theories.
Right.
But what if they just put shit in just because they think it's cool, and people just give their own meaning? And one of the best examples is the fascination with the last boss of Earthbound. What's his name? Gygas or something? Or
I've never got there.
Whatever. He looks like a fucking wallpaper for a laptop or something. Okay. And he just
the Windows one where it's just a grassy field.
No, it's just black and red blobs, and they play creepy music, but the music's creepier than the actual background. People are oh my god, the background's so scary. I see a fetus, and I see eyes, and it's you see what the fuck you want to see, right?
So it's they're treating it like it's a magic eye.
Yeah, they're trying to look for meaning in something that might not have meaning. And
right.
To be fair, I think some of the game theories are better than just saying it's just, looked cool.
Well, that's why people got so disappointed with Lost, right? Because they kept making up their own fan theories and then made them overly complicated. And then when none of that was actually what was going on, people were rioting in the streets.
I never saw Lost. So, but yeah, people have a way of coming up with their own theories. I know that so many people are going to cry and be babies about like the finale of Game of Thrones. Everyone's going to come up with like a million different theories, and almost none of them are going to happen. It's probably just going to end basically cliche.
Well, there's so many people that could be on the throne, and
no one could end up on the throne. Ooh, theory. Anyways,
I mean, that'd be weird.
But yeah, Earthbound specifically, if you ever get to that boss, you'll know what I'm talking about. People see like fetuses, like a black fetus, and they're like, oh my god, maybe it represents Ness before he was born, or stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting there like, what if the red part around the fetus is supposed to look like an amoeba or a bacteria, and it's representing how it's going to spread across the world and destroy everything? Or maybe it's just looks cool,
Well, yeah, developers put a lot of stuff into games that it's just because they feel like it. And sometimes they put stuff in to fuck with people, like in Rock Band. I think it was Rock Band, or maybe it was Guitar Hero, but I think it was Rock Band. The designer of that put in a box you could check that said awesomeness detection. And so people online would come up with all these theories as to what happened when you checked that box. And they'd play the game and like try playing the game with it on.
And it was nothing?
It was absolutely nothing. It was just a checkbox.
It's just a checkbox.
So it just sent game facts into a tizzy trying to figure it out.
That begs another question. What if developers put shit like that in just to fuck with people?
Right.
Like, what if the guy's making Earthbound, he's like, just add some random skulls. It'll look super cool, and people will try to dissect it.
Well, sometimes the meaning, like, like with like Miyamoto when he makes all his games, it's like, oh, like, what's the meaning of Pikmin? He has a garden, and he likes being in it. You know what I mean? And so, like, but people interview Miyamoto.
What a theory.
People interview Miyamoto endlessly, but they don't interview every game developer. So there's probably just as many, like,
yeah.
Oh, my grandma liked, blood-splattered walls. And that's why...
Well, I think he had a whole different problem if he's like...
That's why the last Earthbound's like that is a tribute to my grandmother.
Yeah.
And they're looking for hidden meaning.
After she was hit by that truck against the wall.
Right, she could only see red spots.
It just stuck in my head.
She only saw red spots every time after that. Okay, so I have another... thing that's keeping me up, and it's that I think everyone knows that vampires are very seductive, sometimes very romantic, so surely in this modern age they would want to use Tinder, but since they can't take a photograph of themselves, would vampires use Tinder, and if they did, how?
I have two theories.
Okay.
The first one is they don't actually use Tinder. I think that if they're using it, because they're probably using it to feed, right? Not to date other vampires.
Vampires fuck a lot too.
Yeah, and then you want to fuck your food first, right? Am I the only one that does that? I hope you didn't have any of my cucumbers.
There was like one time where I carved a potato into a butt plug.
This one time at chef camp?
But like, I didn't eat it after. And I never looked at a Whopper and was like, man, what did you do with that?
I want to give that one a Whopper.
But I mean, I also don't eat human beings or drink from them.
Well, they're not human beings anymore. They're
but I'm saying, like,
vampires.
I get.
You can tell because
I get being attracted more to a human being than I do a chicken tender. So I understand that we're talking pretty big difference.
If you're just talking about it, if they're just looking for sex, I mean, that will go with my other theory. If they're going to feed, I don't think they use Tinder at all. I think they just go.
Easy.
They just go to like a street corner and get a hooker, or they find
selective?
A bum, or they could be. I don't know if blood tastes different because vampires don't exist.
Vampires are pretty selective. They're always like pining over that one girl that no one can understand why. They want
that one girl with a lazy eye, and no one else knows why. It's did you see the new Predators movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, in the Predators movie, spoiler alert, they're like, oh no, the next step in evolution's autism. And the whole time, like the Predator wants the autistic kid because he wants to take his DNA.
Are you making?
No, I'm not making this up.
I don't believe this is the plot of Predators.
I promise you.
I said I didn't see it. So you could have made fucking anything.
No, I swear the people watching this will know. I swear that in Predators,
there's gotta be something else to it. You're describing it.
And there's nothing wrong with people with autism. Some of them are like very smart. They're good at
most of them are more desirable to predators.
Yes. But not usually these kind. They're the ones that open up the back of the van easier.
Oh no.
But no, seriously, like one of the funniest parts of the movie, and this is gonna go back to your issue with staying up.
Sure.
But one of the best lines in the movie was this woman's like, no, he doesn't want you. He wants the next step in evolution, your son. And then I just burst out laughing. And I think the family next to me looked like I was horrible. Just certain traits of autistic people there.
So like really
intelligent with usually with one or two different things. But their social structures like shut. You know,
that's like a really random plot point.
It was a bad movie. It wasn't good. Venom was way better, but that's not the point. The point is that they could be selective, but it could go back to the lazy eye girl. Maybe they want the kind of weirdos, you know? Maybe the crazy people aren't so crazy.
They want someone that has something unique with them because they have something unique going on.
Maybe, yes, but who knows if it changes how their blood tastes. I'm assuming they want to avoid STDs, so maybe they wouldn't go down to the street corner. But that goes back to my other point where if they do use Tinder, I bet they just take a picture, and even though it's blank, like because they have no reflection, they just Photoshop it anyways.
Well, one thing they could do is they could put on a fuck ton of makeup.
Yeah.
Look really creepy, actually. Well, fake contacts.
Well, no, makeup first, then you use the photo editing.
You're right. They could well, I mean, honestly, there's probably way more effort than what they'd actually do.
Or they could be.
They'd probably just take a lookalike
and say I look like this.
Put that up, but then, you know, if Tony is seeing that, you know, Vlad is using his pictures.
I'm wondering if
there could be a fight happen, or maybe they kill the person first.
I wonder if Vlad's just like blonde guys and just scrolls through millions of pictures of blonde guys.
He goes on Grindr first.
Oh, you could go on Grindr.
And then finds a lookalike. Somehow gets him home. Maybe it's not as hard. I don't know.
Or they don't even use photos. They could just put the question mark and be like, due to my work, I don't want people to know who I am.
But what guy is getting a girl home with no photos, though?
What guy is getting a guy home with no photos? Probably every guy. You haven't been on Grindr.
You're right, I haven't. Well, I'll have to use it later so we can do the answer.
Well, now it's going to keep me up all night. Is he using Grindr right now?
What's keeping me up all night? I've been using Grindr for 4 hours. All right. So you have this one. This is something that goes to your daily life, and it was why do men assume that trans girls want to bone them in the butt?
I know, right? Like whenever you talk to someone, and they're like, and you mention to like some like straight guy, some straight cis guy who's you know, he likes chicks and whatever. That's the definition of straight. I'm tired. You woke me up.
He's got a penis and he's into women and he doesn't want to fuck dudes.
Well, no, the thing is, whenever you bring it up to someone who doesn't know anything about trans people, the guy's always like, it's like, oh, do you want to go on a date with this girl?
Right.
Or, hey, would you mind playing with this, like maybe having a threesome with this girl, but she's trans and she's pre-op, she's not post-op.
Right.
And then the guy's like, well, I don't want anything in my ass. As if they assume that we want to do that. I'm just letting you all know, guys. No one wants to fuck you in the ass.
Hey, I mean, not no one.
Your ass is hairy and flat and gross, and you don't know how to clean out, so it's filled with shit. No, guys don't know how to clean out. They fucking suck, unless they're like gay dudes. But it's like the straight guys that like, oh, I want my girlfriend to wear a strap on, or I want my trans girlfriend to fuck me. Right. And then it's like they don't clean out because they're inept assholes. So, no one wants to fuck you in the ass.
You should make a YouTube video.
Trans women are the women. They want to get fucked. They're the girls. They don't want to fuck you.
That's a generalization.
No, the generalization is we want to fuck them.
I mean, they're both generalizations.
No.
Because there's
the majority of girls don't want to fuck dudes in the butt.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Like the ones that do are the exception, not the rule.
Sure. I just wanted to not have it be blanket statement.
Oh, you don't want to alienate the straight white guys.
No, that wasn't about it. I'm just saying.
I'm just joking. I'm kidding.
Yeah, trans girls that want to fuck.
I don't want to alienate the bottoms.
I'm expecting to have a large group of bottoms that are going to be into this.
You're gonna find them all on Grindr that night.
Yeah, I'm gonna be finding them all on Grindr. I definitely want to fuck them in the butt, and so.
But then, if you're like my friend Tiffany's trans, it's like, oh, I don't want to get fucked in the butt.
I think what it is that I think a straight guy like can't imagine someone
with a dick not fucking something
into a hole.
Well,
I think that's like
I do, but I do it to women because here's the thing.
Right, but I'm saying if it's an instance where it's like. They're being set up, and it's like, hey, would you be interested in dating this trans girl? And they're saying, oh, I want to get fucked in the butt. It's because they can't imagine. It's the same thing like how I think a lot of straight guys would assume that like every single gay guy takes it in the ass. Yeah. Because they can't imagine that someone has a penis.
Some people don't have imagination because it's stupid. If you want a serious...
I assume everyone's like them.
If you want a serious answer, a lot of trans women don't want to fuck you in the butt because... I know I said the ass thing to be funny, but it's dysphoric. You know, trans women are women, and that's how they identify. That's who they are. They don't transition for fun. It takes time, money, and grief to do that. It's hardships, some worse than others. And they want to be treated like women. And if they, if people want them to fuck dudes, that's the stereotypical guy's role. Like the guys are supposed to fuck the cute girls. So it makes them uncomfortable because they're doing something they don't want to do a lot of the time. It's fine, at least for me, if I'm fucking another girl, because that's like lesbian play. It's like a built-in strap-on. If my girlfriend throws a strap-on and fucks me, it's not much different. If I get surgery or not, I'm going to be either using a strap-on or a dick. So it's like lesbian play. But if you do it fucking a guy, that's like the roles are reversed. It makes you feel dysphoric and gross. That's the real one. But also your asses are disgusting.
So
I think we nailed this topic.
So there's a bunch of guys hoping that they would get nailed or fearing.
Well, by me, probably not.
That clears it up. So this is one that I desperately tried to answer myself, and we're not going to solve it here, but I'm throwing it out there because I want someone to answer this for me. And can dogs rap? And I'm not talking about Snoop Dogg. I'm not talking about Poochie. I'm not talking about cartoon dogs. I'm saying real dogs. Can real dogs rap? We've all seen like the Christmas albums of dogs barking.
Well, I haven't.
We've all heard. We've all played in the shower late at night.
What?
Dog barking music.
I'm about to go wash my sensitive bits. Let me play dogs barking. But I've only ever heard them doing like festive tunes
maybe rock songs, maybe.
What, for the dogs?
Dogs. Like the barking replaces the lyrics. Is it because it'd be too easy for them to rap because their barks would sound too similar?
I would say the answer is no. And here's the thing. Even if you could get a dog to rap, it would probably be through training and on cue. But they don't know they're rapping because they're dogs. They just know they're making sounds at the points that you make them to.
Have bad flow.
You can train them to have a good flow, but they don't know they're rapping.
But it doesn't matter whether they know they're doing it. I'm just asking if they could do it.
Maybe with training you can get the... I mean, how can you rap box? That doesn't make sense. You could rhyme box,
wouldn't
maybe.
Wouldn't it be too easy to rap box?
Oh,
but
like,
just the same...
if you had a dog that rapped, you can name him Tubak. No Tubak.
Help. Well, I looked it up on YouTube because I wanted to see dogs rapping.
Wow.
And all it was, and you can look it up yourself or don't.
I'm not gonna look it up.
It was a bunch of videos of dogs raping. It was just...
No, I definitely don't want to. One
video after another, and I was like, this is not what I want at all. And so maybe I just didn't scroll far enough, and the 100th result is this awesome rapping dog. But there's way too many people on YouTube. Did you try to dog rape videos?
Did you try to refine your search? Were you like dog?
Minus a P,
no dog.
Minus raping.
Hardcore rapping.
I did.
It's just hardcore raping.
It was not the search I was looking for, and I'm worried about my search history once again.
Why don't you just put dogs hip hop or something? No.
So all the videos that
it's still dogs raping.
God damn it! I put in where is the nearest Chipotle, and it just put in videos of dogs raping. What is up with Google? So yeah. Anything that looked like it was a dog rapping, it was just someone like animating a dog to rap music. Which
my guess is
it's not rapping.
My guess is if you can't find it, it probably is impossible. It doesn't exist.
I believe it exists and that it's got like one view because no one else has thought about this before. And I want to see the video.
People have thought about rapping dogs.
Well, I want someone to train their dog to do it, and I want to hear it, and I'll buy the single on iTunes.
How much are you willing to pay?
99 cents.
Oh, don't. I'm not gonna get a dog and teach it now.
But other people might be able to.
I don't know.
So you were wondering about Superman powers.
Oh yeah.
And he's kind of like a goody two shoes.
He is. I was wondering if I or anyone else really, but specifically me, if I had Superman's powers or Superwoman, doesn't matter, they have like the same powers, would I really use them for good? Because I'd like to think I would be good. Honestly, I think I would be chaotic good, which is I would definitely kill horrible bad people,
yes.
But to benefit. Yes, yes, I would immediately. Oh yeah,
murder.
Yeah. I'm thinking about this whole house that I would destroy. This whole big house.
There might be a need for re-elections before the date.
We might need some new people on the Supreme Court. Right. But yeah, there's certain people that I would definitely just flat out destroy. I'd wear a costume so no one would know it was me. I think that's sensible. Right. So people could hate who I am without actually hating who I am.
It would just be a bandana over your eyes, and the rest of you would be completely naked. People would be like, I recognize
I don't think that would benefit anyone in the trans community who killed all these important figures.
That's true. That's something that you have to think about.
Check out every girl with a dick.
That's something that you have to think about.
Can you just imagine, like, law enforcement Googling chicks with dicks?
I think law enforcement's already doing that.
They are,
but this is for work. Right. Yeah, that's something that you have to think about. I'm a white dude, and so it's just a fucking sea of whatever. And whatever I do, it wouldn't be the worst thing that a white dude's ever done. So the bar I have to clear.
Yeah, like if you
blow back on my community is...
You know what? If you did it as a white guy,
yeah.
Like if you just killed them all and then said I'm straight and flew off, Fox News would have nothing. They'd probably defend you.
True,
well, he was white.
Especially if I said I was a Republican.
Huh?
Especially if I said I was a Republican after, they'd be like...
Yeah, just be like, I'm a Republican,
like, oh, well,
straight white guy.
Maybe this is the best thing that's ever happened.
Would you also be naked?
If I was Superman?
No, just the commit. Would you also have like just the mask and fly around naked? Who's gonna stop you?
You know what? Sadly, that is probably something I'd do if I was Superman. Is just fly around naked. Because who's gonna enforce dress code laws?
I know, right?
You're like, can you cover up? And you're like, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
They'd be like, we're having complaints. Well, you're gonna get a lot more because I'm not putting fucking clothes on.
But I can go so quick.
It'll get to the point where law enforcement gets called, and then they's like, oh, you know, Tiffany's walking around with her tits flopping, and like, nope, we don't take Tiffany calls.
But I could fly around naked as Superman without it being an issue because people would only see me if I wanted them to, because I could fly so fucking fast.
Yeah.
That nobody sees me.
Yeah.
So I'm only hovering there, legs spread midair, slowly descending, if I wanted that to be the thing I was doing. So like, it wouldn't be that bad.
I would kind of want people to see me naked just walking down the street.
Just like knocking cars over and...
No, but people might be crashing into shit if I'm walking around naked all the time.
Well, if they crash into you, it wouldn't matter.
No, but if they might just be like this, and then just like fucking hit something.
You could get them out of their car easy. From the wreckage.
I can't get their brains out of the radiator.
What highway are you doing this on? I was picturing like city streets.
I can walk wherever I want. I have Superman's powers.
That's true.
But no, I'd be good. I would definitely help people who need it, like people who are downtrodden. The only people I'd kill are like rapists, murderers, corrupt politicians, anyone evil. A lot of the people that are like, you'll go to hell and burn and die if you do this, I probably wouldn't kill them, but I might maim them. Just a little bit. Just a little maiming.
Any particular way or area?
Well, I'd just be like, oh, well, if they're going to go to hell when they die, you're going to experience hell now, and then just take off one of their legs.
Fly away?
Just fly away. It'll be so hot it cauterizes, and then
like, whip it around, throw it in the sun.
Just beat them with it.
Good luck getting that back. I would definitely do, there's a lot of things that are up for debate where it's like, hey, is this good or is this bad? There's like these shades of gray. And then there's just people doing just awful things, with impunity. And I would have no issue getting rid of those people.
No, me neither. There are some people that are really just out to watch the world burn, and they don't deserve to live.
I won't live long enough for any consequence to what I'm doing.
Well, if you have Superman's powers, you will.
No, I'm saying the people that are doing the bad things. And so, like, whatever, everyone else is fucked. I'll be fine.
I'd basically make an example out of them and then say, listen, I don't want to run the country, but if you put people like this in power again, you're going to see the same thing and worse. So
I would help colonize Mars. I would, like, fly up a bunch of parts. I mean, I wouldn't be able to figure out how to do anything. I can't even build Lego sets correctly, but I would get the people there.
Shouldn't you be more worried about colonizing another system? Because once this sun explodes, we're done. It doesn't matter if we're on Mars.
I mean,
we can colonize Mars to begin, but like eventually the sun's going to explode and everyone in this whole system is going to die.
Well, there's no end to my work.
Isn't this a fun topic?
It did get very dark.
Welcome to Re-Extinction Dinosaur Battle Club. The moon is under attack. You need to reclaim it. Build the most brutal, fierce, and fashionable dinosaurs and win back the moon. create fashion masterpieces, get those dinosaurs out there, and prevent re-extinction.
Similar, we're speaking of aliens in the case of Superman. And one thing that I've always wondered, and this is keeping me up tonight, is why are aliens so obsessed with butts? They're supposed to be super advanced. It always is under the guise of them doing research.
Maybe they're so advanced that they've evolved, or not even evolved, they were just always like that to a point where they didn't have a digestive system. They don't need a butt. So they don't have butts.
So they don't care about the brains or anything else. They're just like, I am obsessed.
Whatever about their bodies transcends our own. So when they see us, they're like, look at these feeble bodies. I've never seen this before. Let's take tests. And to them, it's like, well, we can go in any direction we want because we're testing. I'm sure they'll test on our mouths too, but they'll definitely put stuff in our butt.
So they're looking at us like the way like I look at like a mouse, where it's like a mouse every few like inches that it's walking, it's just shitting, endlessly shitting, and they're just like seeing us and they're like, how many times a day do you have to piss and shit? You guys didn't get this digestive thing?
They might be using us as
it could be like
rats.
A closed circuit. Maybe it's like a closed circuit.
You know what it's like they're using us as like the rats in their world, and they're going to experiment on us to try and further develop their own civilization. Like right now, currently going on, they're using DNA sequencing or not splicing, but they're like taking out DNA, they're rewriting it, and they made a rat that's older, almost like identical to a young rat, just by altering their DNA. I can talk, I swear. And if they think that in like when we're 40 or something, that we might be able to stop aging, at least fast. But
because of aliens probing our butts?
No, but aliens might be doing that to us. Maybe they're doing stuff to us as an experimentation to figure out how to, further their species.
I think that people give like aliens too much credit, and I think that they're just
fucked up,
huge perverts. And they just grab a bunch of people and just were like, all right, let me just show.
Well, there's always that one guy at the science lab who takes the rat and goes.
Is there always one guy? They should do better background checks.
Chuck. Usually it's Chuck.
They should have a more lengthy interview experience if they're always got one guy that's jerking off rats.
No, he's not jerking off rats. He's just taking the whole rat and sliding it over like a condom.
I don't even want to know how that's gonna work.
Not well, I'm guessing.
But whatever they need to do with our butts, it's important enough for them to go multiple universes or whatever. And specifically, like, they seem to have a thing. Like, like there's that dating website that's like onlyfarmers.com.
No.
Or there's some farmer dating website. Aliens are kind of like
leukemialovers.com.
No, that was not what I was talking about.
I'm just thinking of weird dating sites.
They always seem to like abduct farmers and probe their butts. And so maybe they just have a thing for people who are really good at agriculture.
Well, I mean, they understand that we're a growing species, so they want to take the dumbest of us to kind of like...
Or maybe they're like, those people actually know how to survive.
Or, no, I think it's more like a lot of farmers are isolated, so they're easier to take.
Because they're like fucking with their crops.
They're out in the field, and...
They basically like... It's like a graffiti artist with like a perv streak. It's like if Banksy like ran around, just tagged something, and then shoved a dildo up someone's butt, because they're always doing like the crop circles wherever they've been. Like Mark was here and their crazy hieroglyphics, and then like They steal a farmer and
I think people give them too much credit for the rings. Like they think it means something. Like we were talking about this with the video games.
A tag. It's a
what is it?
Tag.
No, it's like they try to land, but they keep fucking up. So they're like, oh my god, and they just drive around and make all these symbols because they don't know how to park their fucking vehicle.
Imagine if like they abducted Mark Echo so they could figure out how to make better tags.
After probing his butt, right?
I mean,
they think it's like a genetic thing, so they look for the tagging gene.
It's part of it's like you look down the menu when you're on the UFO, and it's like intergalactic curry, like know the secrets of the universe.
They have a
like,
Mark Echo video
all
game.
these different combos, but each one, just like each combo at like a Taco Bell or whatever, always comes with a drink, even if you don't want to drink. It always comes with a butt probing. So it's like, no matter what you get done on the UFO, like, all right, and before you go, instead of like a mint on your way out.
Yeah, but sometimes, depending on the combo, you can get like a medium or large. So maybe you get a medium butt probe.
You're like, I just wanted a lot of tacos.
I don't mind if they probe me. I just want it to be a good size, and I want it to vibrate, and then I'll be happy.
What's your ideal size for an alien probe?
I don't know. Nothing under like 9 inches. I'm 10.
What are we talking about? We're talking about the girth on this alien probe.
Oh, I can do pretty big. You want me to hold my hand up?
Is it like are we talking a Red Bull can? Are we talking a
baseball?
A baseball bat?
No, maybe Red Bull can. That's
okay.
It's been a while since I've had a Red Bull can, but I'm pretty sure that's a good size.
It'd be weird if this was what started your craving for Red Bull.
No, I got a coffee though, so.
All right.
In fact, I have a coffee underneath the sheets.
You ran out of your alcohol that you kept under your sheets.
That wasn't alcohol. That was orange juice.
You didn't have any alcohol in it?
I don't drink.
No, that's not true. All right. So
Put
now
that
we'll
back.
go. It's another one of my topics because I came up with more things are bothering me and keeping me up than you. So I know this is something that you'll have an opinion on. Is Goku the biggest villain in the Dragon Ball series?
I would say no.
So here's my thing.
Okay.
I've been trying to catch up and watch the rest of
Super
Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, I finished it, so I can.
And like what I really love, I tweeted about it and mentioned it on Facebook and stuff. But what I really love about it is they've always portrayed Goku as a dick, but Super just really keeps nailing it home that like Goku's an asshole.
I don't see that though.
Okay, well I'll explain. Because like you knew in Dragon Ball Z that Goku was a bad father, but they didn't really focus on it that much. But in Dragon Ball Super, like literally anytime his kid needs something or wants to do something, or like he's supposed to do something for his wife or whatever, he's just like, fuck y'all, and he like flies away or teleports to somewhere where he can like punch some dude with abs.
Well, usually it's for the greater good.
No. He just wants to fight, and occasionally he accidentally helps things out. No,
because he'll give like speeches about friendship and being together, and he's never alone, and that's his power.
Bullshit. He never wants to hang out with anyone unless they're fighting.
That's not a villain though. He's not trying to murder people.
It is. So like, awful father abandons his family endlessly, does nothing to interact with his child's development whatsoever. And you look at the difference between him and Gohan. Like Gohan's like, yeah, that shit's cool, but like I've got a family. I need to actually fucking take care of them. And even Vegeta, who's like kind of like, you know, more Neanderthal Saiyan, because he's coming from like the original. He's coming from the old country.
He is.
It's like he was like the villain at one point. Even he's like, Goku, like, I'm fucking taking care of Trunks over here. Like, I need to do shit. Like, there's one scene in the episode I just watched where Bulma's pregnant and Goku's already fucked off with his family, whatever shit they wanted. He's like, fucking later, I want to go train. There is no crisis. He's just really into training.
He has to train. That's his thing, and it helps him for the future.
Hold on. And he's talking to Vegeta, and he's like, all right, hey, let's go. I love fighting you. We love fighting. Let's go fight. And Vegeta's like, yeah. Cool. I love fighting, Goku. You're right. I got a pregnant wife over there. She's due any moment, and I need to be around for the birth of my kid.
But
and
even he got dragged away, though.
And Goku goes, why? You're not the one having the fucking kid. That is literally his argument. He's like, why are you? I don't understand. Why would you be around?
You can be a bad parent, but a good person. Okay,
so that's what I'm saying. So that's part one. Part one is Goku, awful family man, awful friend, awful father.
He's not an awful friend, though.
He's a bad friend.
He's not an awful friend.
He ignores his friends unless
he brings them back to life with Dragon Balls.
So they can fight more.
Except for King Kai.
Yeah, exactly. You're proving my point. Every time he has an opportunity to bring King Kai back,
That's not always his fault, though. Someone else fucks it up.
If it wasn't, he'd fuck it up.
Here's my thing. Goku's not bad. He's just really dumb. And they show that throughout the entire series, too.
He knows what he's doing.
No, he knows what he's doing when he's fighting. He's a martial artist.
No. He knows his family wants him to be there and help out. And he chooses to say fuck you and leave.
Well, sometimes he is naive, though. Like, sometimes he doesn't realize.
Sure, sometimes he is.
Sometimes you have to, like, flat out
He's
tell
also
him.
an idiot. I'm not going to say that.
And you have to remember this. Gohan did turn out well. He's well educated. He's got a good...
Chi-Chi. It's all Chi-Chi.
But, well, actually, and because Goku saved the world, so the world didn't explode, so he didn't die.
Right, but so here's part two. I
mean, he let Frieza live. He gave Frieza energy. Frieza's the worst guy. He destroyed his homeworld. And he gave him energy to live, even though, despite all that. And he killed Krillin.
He goes to meet with Beerus. I guess might even been in the same episode. And he's like, hey, I really want to go talk to Zeno, the guy who rules all the universes, and tell him, hey, can we start up that multi-universe tournament that he forgot about? Because I really need to fight people because I haven't fought people.
Yeah.
Right?
He's excited. That's his hobby.
Beerus is like, hey, this is like a child that runs the universe, which I think is an interesting commentary on the world, right? And why certain things could happen. He goes, this is a child that runs the universe.
So it's just like our country, a child runs it.
Any given whim, he could just do something like destroy a whole planet, destroy a whole universe, wipe everything off the bat. Not even out of malice, just out of like, oh, this would be interesting to do. Don't remind him about our universe. Don't go over there. Something bad will probably happen. Fucking give it up. I know you like fighting. Figure out some other shit to do. And Goku's like, okay, interesting points. Let me go fly off it. There's so many fights over the course of the entire series that happen because Goku refuses to leave Earth or challenges someone that he shouldn't or like starts a fight that
but
doesn't
that's
need to
because
happen.
That's his thing. He's not...
But I'm saying like his being there endangers the Earth more than his being there protects
Well, that's
the
not
Earth.
true because he has protected the Earth every time.
All that shit has happened because he's there.
No, the Majin Buu thing didn't happen because of him. It was going to happen anyways.
Well, maybe that's one exception.
No, it's not.
But I'm just saying, like, a lot of stuff in the series.
The one thing that happened was Trunks' fault because Goku was supposed to die in the Cell Saga and he came from the future and gave him the medicine he needed. So Trunks actually kept him alive so he could fight Android 18 and 17, not realizing Cell even existed.
Right.
So that wasn't his fault. Okay. He was gonna die.
Right. Maybe Goku's not the worst person, but can we agree he's a dick?
I think he's occasionally purposely, but most of the time ignorantly a dick. I think that he doesn't realize he's being selfish when he eats all the food. I think that when Chi-Chi wants him to do something, she has to be straightforward because...
He still ignores it.
He did get his driver's license, remember that? So he doesn't ignore everything she says. But we can talk about that all day. But deep down, he's not a bad guy. I just think he's stupid. And yes, he does do some dick things. He does do some dick things. But a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them I don't think he does on purpose. What's the next question?
Talking about the opposite of dick things or changing around. I mean, actually, I don't know, honestly. But you were wondering after Bowsette and female Terry Bogard, who is going to get the next sex change?
Oh, which video game character is going to get the next sex change after Bowsette and Terry Bogard?
Yeah.
I know I cosplay Poison a lot. She's one of my favorite cosplays. Right. And also because
that's kind of a different case.
I'm trans. Right? Well, I think originally they wanted to make her like... Yeah, I think they changed her in the original Japanese.
In the original one, from my understanding, from my memory, in the original one, Poison was trans, and then they got some blowback on it, and then they changed it, and then people raged about it, and then they...
What happened was the Japanese version, Poison was just female. And then when it came to America, Americans didn't want guys beating on women, so they changed her... Not even the trans, but to a guy, even though they didn't change any of the breasts or stuff. But then, because time goes on, terminology is different, she became trans because you can't be a guy and do all that stuff. You're trans people. Go the extra mile and do that. Right. So she's trans. I don't know if they tried to change it back, but forever in people's minds, including my own, she's definitely trans.
There's a while they were like, I think like Street Fighter, when they were going to be introducing her, where it was the Street Fighter Cross Tekken or whatever it was, where for a while there they were trying to dance around it and not like just straight out say it, and that was like so frustrating because it was like you've got a character that the trans community really likes. Why are you like avoiding just saying it when like you have a million other characters that would appeal to just dudes or regular like women or
she's
whatever.
Definitely trans, and it's already etched in people's minds. I went to one
eventually we're like, okay, it's way harder to say the opposite of this, so we're just gonna say it. But it was like not much of like a pat on the back for Capcom, because it's like you only did this because it would have been harder for you to try and to say the opposite.
But no, I get at cons all the time, people come over and they're like, oh my god, you're Poison, she's great. And then one guy in particular was like, are you like the real Poison? And I'm like, sure. And he's like, yeah. So he must really like chicks with, even though just because Poison is trans doesn't mean she has, because you can go post-op. Right. So, but yeah, but we're getting off topic. The next character
thing, like to let people know, in case in both these instances, to let people know in case they don't know what we're talking about. The Bowsette thing is there's the super mushroom or princess mushroom, right? Yeah, princess.
I think it's mushroom. A crown or something.
Crown mushroom. Yeah. That Toadette gets in the re-release of New Super Mario Brothers U, and for some reason it turns her into a hybrid of Toadette and Princess Peach. For some reason, and everyone then started thinking, what would happen if someone else
wore the crown,
got that power up? It probably isn't possible to get it, or just does the standard stuff. But it's more fun, and it's gonna be disappointing because this won't be the case.
Yeah.
But it's more fun to think what would actually happen. And one of the things was, what if Bowser got the crown mushroom and turned into Bowsette, which is like this combination of Bowser
and Peach.
And then the Terry Bogard, female Terry Bogard thing is there's SNK Fighters that's out on Switch, and in that game they have all female SNK characters, but they decided they couldn't go without having Terry Bogard in an SNK game.
So they
made female Terry Bogard, and also in the DLC female Skullomania. So obviously people having no issue with this particular trend, definitely online. With the Bowsette thing, everyone wants to see it, and the most popular ones are the ones where it's like someone.
Well, no offense to Terry, but like Bowser's a more prominent character in the video game world.
Sure.
So I have a couple characters I think that
would work well.
I don't know if they'll work well, but they're funny. Okay. So you can go first if you have one off the top of your head.
No, you go first. I'll think of one.
All right, well, I got 2 of them. First one is Cool Spot.
Did they have female Cool Spots?
No, they just had Cool Spot with the sunglasses. So
Okay.
I think just keep the spot, but like draw a labia on it, right? And just make him just like a walking
Where do
vagina.
those sunglasses go? Do they like hang on the clip
He just puts it in.
inside? Well, that's not going to protect you from the sun. Okay. What's your other one?
Duke Nukem, and you don't even have to change anything. Keep the same haircut. Just add keep the muscles. Just give the little boobs, right? And then keep everything else. Just give them boobs and just say it's like a butch lesbian.
And it's like, Hail to the Queen.
Yeah. She still she'll still sound kind of deep, but not as deep as Duke. But she's like super butch. Like she's definitely.
I'm trying to think of some of the others. So Hail to the Queen, it would have to be, and then it would be. I've got labia of steel.
I've got labia of steel.
I'm trying to think of some other. I don't know any other.
And that way you don't even have to like change the sexuality of the character because she'd still like women, so she'd be like a super butch lesbian. Right. I just thought it was funny because you don't have to change anything except the tits.
I think there would be like more people into if there was a new Duke Nukem, if that was the plot of it.
Yeah.
I think it would get more people to buy it.
Yeah, he could go through a portal and be like, what the fuck? And then just be like, I'm a chick.
And I would like to see like there'd be a bunch of other macho guys.
It could be Land of the Babes too, where he goes there and he gets turned into a babe.
But then he's getting hit on by a male Duke Nukem.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like either future or past. Past Duke Nukem runs into him from the first game, and he's like, "Dude, I'm
like,
you."
Lay off, will you?
Yeah.
Enough already. I'm not into you.
Exactly.
Stop it. I would like to see female Mario just because I want to know if the mustache stays or not. Because have you ever seen pictures of Mario without the mustache? It's very frightening. I don't know if you really looked at those pictures online, but
just going back to the Mario series, no imagination. I came up with Cool Spot. No one remembers
Cool
fucking
Spot's
Cool Spot.
good, but when you said Cool Spot, all I could think of was female Yonoid. Just disregarded fast food icons. I mean, female Nathan Drake would just be Lara Croft.
Yeah, so it's no point in doing
if
that.
the crown went on to Nathan Drake.
Yeah, he'd be
just turn into Lara
Croft.
Croft. Yeah. And probably vice versa. Not just like looking at your games. I'm trying to think.
I got a ton of games. You can have female Kirby. It's really just Kirby, but there's 2 of them, so they look like boobs, and their face is always
the little stumps of the hands are just 2 extra.
The 2
stumps.
nipples. You just see a walking boob.
Like boob
one eye's
physics.
on one boob, one eye's on the other one.
Oh no!
And then when you suck people up, you just go.
Well, that's you're appealing to a different demographic for sure.
Someone's gonna see this and they're gonna draw a female
I
Kirby.
am willing to bet
it's gonna
you
be
if
popular.
you went on Rule 34 that exists already.
I don't want to go on there and see that. I don't need to see Kirby open up his vagina and suck the world in.
Female Ronald McDonald. I'm not just staying with all.
That's not a video game. He's been in video games, but he's not. I mean, are we not restricted to video games? Because then you can do female Ronald McDonald.
Well, he's in video games, but
I mean, female Grimace would just look like Rosie
actually,
O'Donnell.
I've got a good answer. Every military shooter.
Just be a girl.
It's just a girl because you saw how upset people got over Battlefield. I would just like to see that happen just to watch how upset man babies got online.
That sounds out of spite. You know what we could do? It'd be like Grand Theft Auto 5 except like 3 chicks.
Actually, that would be really good.
You'd have like the Trevor one, which like has half a head shaved or pot marks, whatever, like ripped out, and she definitely have like needle like
Right.
yeah, and then you'd have the rich kind of classy bitch, like basically what his wife was, except the badass.
Right.
And then you'd have the African American girl who, lives down in the ghetto and stuff. With
play it up like have this
like in the game.
Have the plot be kind of like one of like the Real Housewives shows, because they've had like those like Married to the Mob or whatever shows. Like have that be the thing, but like you're following.
It'd be like a similar story.
Yeah.
It's like they all get together through happenstance, and then they just rob banks and do stuff.
Yeah.
But with girl power. Oh wait, what about this? Trans men, Final Fantasy X-2, but with dudes.
Just like sexy pop.
They wear the same outfits they do in the women do, but it's just like these guys, and they're dancing on the floor.
Just sparklers like spinning around on the nipples.
Yeah, like they're like super flamboyant, like gay looking guys, but they're not gay. They're just like super metro. Yeah. And they're looking for the girl that disappeared on them when Sin came.
People already had a problem with that game not being masculine enough, so I can only imagine if like the next major Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy X-3.
What if it was like Final Fantasy X-3, but they were like all men, but just all effeminate men?
I want Square to do that.
Girl, you're gonna wear that to fight a Marlboro.
So we're talking about food mascots.
Okay.
And I've spent many a night unable to sleep, kept up because I was wondering, does the hamburger helper glove like prefer fisting or fingering?
I would personally, I would think fingering. Because
But you ever seen like the hamburger helper glove, like whenever I see it animate, it's always like the whole hand. Like it's never like pointing or...
But he's got a mouth, so he can drown or suffocate.
Well, an interesting thing is that it is a glove, so hamburger helper's probably getting fisted every time someone goes to make one of his meals.
Yeah, but we're asking if he would prefer to fist or finger, not if he prefers to get fisted.
Is he going to give back what he gets?
I would say he does the finger, because I don't think he'd throw his whole body into it,
Why not?
That's like if you're like, hold on, let me before I get my dick and let me shove my feet in there.
I mean, I've had dreams about it. It's not physically possible.
I think it's more practical to use fingers,
I guess
because how's he gonna make those cool sounds? How can he be like,
to your point, like how does he get the traction, right? Like if he's all the way inside, it's probably not going to be as effective.
No,
unless someone's pulling or someone's inside him.
Yeah,
and then using him,
or he's like sitting down and he's like this,
right?
But then your angles are limited. I think fingers just make it easier.
Well, I look forward to the video.
Plus, you can do this and this, and you could still hang on because you'd have all his fingers.
He could just use his pinky to keep stirring.
He could do this.
The hamburger helper.
Oh, yeah, this. Because it'd be these two, but this one would be like, hey, look what I'm doing. Hey, oh, yeah.
I got you. And we got one last thing. And this is something that you have to deal with all the time. And why do people assume that porn stars can't turn it off? They assume that every single instance of your life is hypersexual, that like they see the video and like that's your entire life. In the same way, like a subway worker, as soon as they get off work, they just can't stop being a sandwich artisan everywhere they go.
Oh, really? It's like when a dentist gets off work, they can't stop cutting themselves.
They're just like, hey, can I check inside your mouth when they're on the subway?
I think it's a combination between stereotypes, media portrayals, stuff like that. Them watching porn, they're jerking off to it and they think it's hot, but they don't realize it's just a movie. They think it's like a documentary of what I do every day, or like
it's the only reason that they go to that person is for that specific trait, and so then they hope that
they associate you with that trait.
Of that person.
And to be fair, there are fans that don't think that way, but then there are the ones that think that all I want to do is ride dick or fuck girls or whatever. But no, that's what it really is. I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with like, why do guys think that we want to fuck them in the butt? Like The Hangover 2, which is a movie that was awful, but they're like the girl that's supposed to be like, you know, fucking a guy in the butt, Yasmin Lee, who's also a porn star, which doesn't help the case that we're making right now. She's retired though. I think I haven't seen her do anything in a long time, but I met her. She's nice. But you know, stereotypes like that stem from movies and comics and games and TV shows and the porn itself. Like I have people to this day bringing up stuff I did back in the day.
Right,
they bring up stuff I did like 3 weeks ago, but they'll bring up stuff I did like 5 years ago, and they'll still be like, "Oh yeah, I saw this video of you doing this." Like, you mean like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Because the videos are timeless.
Right.
So it's
like a Disney classic.
It is. When you
this one's going back in the vault. We're gonna have to alter this one when we bring it back out.
But yeah, so they think that's our life, and to be fair, I am promiscuous. I am very sexual. I like to fuck a lot of people, but not every girl's like that. And I do have some standards, like you
boundaries, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like anyone that I know that's worked in like adult entertainment or a sex worker or anything like that. Like I've never hung out with them and it'd be like, I can't turn it off. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like my clothes are ripping off.
It's not like we're sitting at the table playing a board game and I'm trying to rub your dick underneath the fucking table.
Right. Like, or, it's all I know.
Yeah. And you
can keep losing at Yahtzee.
And you can tell because I sleep naked usually, but with you in this nice comfy bed, I'm wearing clothes.
Right.
And makeup for some reason.
As a friend.
Yes. But no, I have sex with some of my friends, but they're all hot girls. But that's not the point. I don't have sex.
Put that out there. You're recruiting.
I'm not recruiting. Unless you want to be my friend and you're a hot girl, then go to www. Just send me a message on Facebook. Sit on your Facebook.
I think that about does it. Now I've gotten all that out of my system. You've gotten your questions answered.
I'm ready for bed.
Good night. Till next week. Thanks for checking out Keeping Me Up. I'd like to thank our guest today, Tiffany Starr. If you want to check her out online, she's available at Tiffany Starr XXX on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Don't forget that's Star with 2 R's. Once again, at Tiffany Starr XXX. Want to support the games, video, or audio content I make? You can donate as much or as little as you'd like on patreon.com/GameYayFun. That's game, GameYayFun. You can check out new episodes broadcast in video form on twitch.tv/GameYayFun. And if you don't have any money but still want to support the show, if you have Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime subscription for free. If you set that up, you can subscribe to Game Yay Fun with Twitch Prime and give some of Jeff Bezos' money to me. He's got enough already. Let me know how you like the show by messaging me on Twitter at Raslo, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode of Keeping Me Up and a new guest. Thanks for your time. I hope you feel gruntled. And also, do something kind for yourself and someone else every day. Good night. Special thanks to music-note.jp for providing the theme song to Keeping Me Up with the track name Desire Moon.